as the top brass of the Karnataka Congress rallies behind Rahul Gandhi over his allegations of fraud during the Lok Sabha elections in Karnataka. Now, Minister K.N. Rajanna, who opposed the party view on the entire issue, he has now resigned, is the big piece of breaking news that's coming in. The Karnataka Cooperation Minister K.N. Rajanna has submitted his resignation to Chief Minister Siddaramaiah. So that is the big fallout of the tussle within the Congress camp over the voter fraud allegations that have been levelled by Rahul Gandhi. And now this particular minister, who did not take the party line when it comes to the sanctity of the voter rolls, has now resigned. Harish, so clearly, does it seem that the top brass in the Karnataka Congress have cracked the whip, which has led to this resignation?
Absolutely. This statement of CM Rajanna, which went against the party line, which went against party's biggest campaign that they have launched in the recent times, alleging voter fraud. He went against that party line. He said the party should be ashamed that they allowed this fraud to happen when they were in power. And he also said what was the party and party leaders doing when the draft electoral rules were out, and why didn't they then thinking out of electoral rules? After which the High Command was seriously miffed with the kind of statement made by CM Rajanna. This morning, we understand there was a long conversation that the Congress High Command had with the Karnataka Chief Minister Siddaramaiah, after which he was very clearly told to sack CM Rajanna. That message is gone to CM Rajanna from Chief Minister. And just a while ago, CM Rajanna has submitted his resignation. Remember, CM Rajanna is seen as someone who is very close to the Chief Minister. And the fact that the Congress High Command had to call the Chief Minister, asking him to sack one of its own ministers, one of Chief Minister's own confidants, which is sent out a huge message now that the party takes this campaign seriously. Anybody going against it will not be tolerated. And CM Rajanna in the recent past is someone who's gone against the Congress High Command's diktat or Congress High Command stance on several issues, including on leadership issues and various other issues on the Congress said that nobody will speak. CM Rajanna was speaking on that out of turn once again. He did that over the weekend. He spoke against the party's voter fraud campaign, and now finally that message is going out that it won't be tolerated. And K. Rajanna has been sacked from the Karnataka cabinet now.
Right. And Harish, what's the initial reaction from other top Congress leaders? In your opinion, are they falling in line behind the message sent from the Congress High Command, or will this rustle more feathers within the Congress camp?
Well, just a while ago, Shivakumar was speaking to us, and he did, in a way, give out a hint when he was asked about things. He said his Chief Minister and his party has been faced, and they went to CM Rajanna. And perhaps minutes after that, we've seen that message going across to CM Rajanna saying that he can no longer be part of the cabinet. That's the message that's trickled down from the Congress High Command. We understand that party president, Mr. Moneycontrol himself, who's from Karnataka, was miffed with the statement that CM Rajanna had made. There was a long conversation that the Congress High Command had with Chief Minister Siddaramaiah just a while ago, and that message went out from Chief Minister Siddaramaiah to Rajanna to resign. And even as the session is on, Ayushman, remember, the session has now been adjourned for lunch. It will resume in a short while from now. And in that lunch hour, we've seen CM Rajanna tender his resignation to the Chief Minister. Most likely it will be accepted in the coming sometime and be sent to Raj Bhavan. So clearly, the statements that Rajanna made over the weekend is something that was brought to the notice of the Congress High Command, that he was going against the own party line. He was accepting that there is voter fraud, but he was ridiculing the party, saying that the voters were added when we were in power in 2023, when we were in the state in power. And then later on, when the draft electoral votes were given, why didn't we raise questions? And what is the point now if we are raising these questions? I agree the Prime Minister came to power based on such fraud votes, but we should have been more careful. He said we should be ashamed that we let this happen under our watch. So these critical words from CM Rajanna criticizing his own party, his own government, his party's own biggest campaign in recent times did not go down well with the Congress High Command, and Congress High Command taking such a stern action against Rajanna. Remember, we've seen some of the ministers resigning in this government, but they largely had to resign because there was allegation of corruption and there was no room left for the party to defend them. This is the first time we are seeing where the Congress High Command has decided to sack a minister because of disciplinary issues, because this man did not toe the party line on several other occasions, but perhaps this was the final nail in the coffin. Just to remind our viewers, Ayushman, just a few months back as well, when Mallikarjun Kharge himself sent out a message saying that nobody will speak against the party line on leadership change. If you had K.N. Rajanna coming out in the open and saying, well, we expect a leadership change in September and there would be a revolution of sorts in the party. And back then as well, the party was left embarrassed. Even today, the party was embarrassed that one of their own senior ministers was running down a major campaign the party had launched, even as Rahul Gandhi and others were preparing to take out the Padayatra in Delhi. One of his own minister was ridiculing that campaign, and finally, we've seen its resignation.
Absolutely. Harish, please stay with us. We're also joined by Shahzad Poonawalla of the BJP. Thank you, Mr. Poonawalla, for joining us on CNN News 18. Your first reaction, a minister who spoke out against these voter fraud charges, putting the onus on his own government, now sacked by the Siddaramaiah government in Karnataka.
This is the price you pay for saying the truth. Ayushman, we all know that the Congress has a government since 2023. If they are complaining about issues in 2024 Lok Sabha voter electoral roll, it is the onus of the SDM, the BLO, the officers of the state government, which can come under Congress government. And when this entire fact check of Rahul Gandhi's so-called atom bomb was done by one of his own, Mr. Rajanna, they have now issued fatwa against Rajanna and they have asked him to leave or they have sacked him. And this shows that there is no space for truth. Actually, this is not PCI's matter. This is EMI, emergency mindset of Indira's grandson. Mr. Indira's grandson thinks that he is above the Samvidhan Tantra. He can abuse the election commission. He won't give anything in writing or on oath because his facts are all fake. It's all the fact check has been done. And by the way, this statement has not been made just by Mr. Rajanna. Ayushman, I request your channel, pull out the statement of Mr. Akhilesh Yadav. Akhilesh Yadav has also put the onus on the Karnataka government. Now will they sack him also from the alliance? So today, one thing is very clear. This is emergency mindset. And Rahul has got fact checked by his own people. So he has not taken badla from Mr. Rajanna.
Absolutely. And when it comes to the initial Maharashtra elections, you also had Abhishek Banerjee as well as Omar Abdullah speak out against these charges. But Mr. Poonawalla, that entire press conference that was held by Rahul Gandhi, where he showed voter list data, where he showed the address data, he's also pointed out that when it comes to the state of Karnataka in the 2024 Lok Sabha elections, there were several voters who were assigned to one address, and the address was also written as 0, that there are discrepancies in the voter rolls, which is why he's demanding a more transparent voter roll. Isn't that a valid demand to know why are these different discrepancies showing up in the election data that's available to the public?
This is exactly why we are saying that SIR should be done. Today, Rahul Gandhi has become de facto the biggest brand ambassador of the SIR activity, and therefore Mr. Akhilesh Yadav, who says that SIR works though, Rahul Gandhi is saying SIR karna hai, purity of the rolls is required. And by the way, the 000 house number, etc. has all been explained even by the media people who have visited the house. Many houses don't have a number, so the 0 entry is put. For instance, the Aditya Srivastava case, for instance, the Shakur Rani case, in that case you are saying that she has voted 2 times. The entire fact check of that has also been done. And my limited point is only this, Ayushman, सरकार तो उनकी है ना वहाँ पे. कर्नाटका में सरकार बीजेपी की थोड़ी है भाई. If there are so many errors, then the state government officials are responsible, and it is the Karnataka government.
Right. Thank you, Mr. Poonawalla, for sharing your perspective on the matter. The question remains that the BJP is asking the Congress High Command that for those speaking out from within your ranks, why is such stern action being taken? And I want to take that point to Harish Upadhyay, who continues to be with us on the broadcast. Harish, that point being raised by the BJP that the fact check that's coming in from the Karnataka Chief Election Officer, the latest one being the Shakur Rani case, who Rahul Gandhi claimed had voted twice in the Lok Sabha elections, but the inquiry found out that she voted only once. The Karnataka Chief Election Officer also saying that Rahul Gandhi should make these charges under oath and then face action for lying to the public. So this escalation of the fight between the Election Commission and Rahul Gandhi and the charges particularly towards Karnataka, where does the state government stand on those charges?
There are 2 aspects here, Isman. As far as the voter list is concerned, everybody seems to be on the same platform that perhaps there are discrepancies. Everybody seems to agree with that. You had Madhepura former MLA, Arvind Limbavadi, who came out and said there are similar things that have happened in Varuna, that is constituency where certain people have registered as house number 0. And he said there are many people who have multiple epic cards there. So whether it's the Congress or the BJP, all of them are saying that there are discrepancies in the voters list. Now, the Congress is saying that certain cases, for example, having 80 voters in one particular house, house number 35 in Munireddy layout in Mariapura constituency, they are saying that is done by design by the BJP. That those are fraud votes that were cast. There is no proof that the Congress is giving, except for the fact that it's now established that yes, there are 80 people who registered from one particular address just off the ring road in Bengaluru. But whether it was done by design, whether they voted, that's something that the Congress has not managed to establish. The Election Commission hasn't really come out and clarified on that. One aspect of one case study which has been clarified is the Shakundani case. Now you have Shakundani herself who's saying that she hasn't. She said that I've casted my vote only once. You have the Election Commission saying that our data says that she's casted her vote only once, although her name is found twice in the electoral roll. That is something that the Election Commission has sidestepped. It hasn't addressed on why so many people have their names multiple times in electoral rolls within the same constituency. The other major factor here that the Election Commission will have to advertise March is, for example, the brewery in Bengaluru, in Mariapura, Beer Street, where more than 60 voters are shown to have registered from that address. It's a commercial venture. It's a commercial establishment. How did the entire revision process that happened, how did those people who went for revisions not notice that? Did they flag it to Election Commission? That is something that the Election Commission will have to address. But yet again, they've asked the Deputy Minister, who submitted a complaint to the Election Commission to give the same under oath, under declaration. That hasn't happened. Even as all this is playing out, the state government is saying that we'll explore legal angles as well. What we understand is Karnataka's own legal department is looking at the options before the Karnataka government. The party too is looking at the legal options that they can exercise in terms of going to court. Perhaps that is something that will play out in the next few days.
Absolutely. So which direction this entire fight moves, we'll have to wait and see. But it continues to escalate, also emanating from the state of Karnataka, with the political fallout being the axing of a minister who spoke out against the party line.
Network 18 decimates Times Internet with over 6 times more unique users on social media. Network 18, the undisputed leader of news networks, way ahead of the times.